Welcome to today's practice. Hopefully you're able to listen along. Maybe if you need a demo or so, you're able to see what I'm doing. I know I'm a little square here sometimes, and I'm a little bit far from the camera, but I want to be able to stand and just see my whole body. So welcome to today's Saturday morning yoga practice. We are doing our Ashtanga Vinyasa with some variations. And this week or today, we're focused on non-attachment, non-possessiveness, aparigraha. And I've got these two cards here. They are affirmations of the day. I am free and I am open. So we'll use those today throughout this practice. I am free, I release my attachment and liberate my spirit. And I am open, my heart and mind have no boundaries. Working towards releasing and opening, which means today's practice, we are going to get more into some of those back bends, heart openers, and twists. How exciting. So doing what you can over there. If something doesn't feel right, please don't do it. Check in with your breath and take breaks whenever you need to. My name's Ashley. Welcome to class. Let's just get started. So we're going to start seated. I like starting seated even though this practice often starts standing. Because it's morning, I don't want to make us too dizzy or feel sort of wavery when we stand. So starting in a comfortable seated pose, let's just take a few breaths, deeper breaths, in and out through the nose. As you notice what's going on in your body, your mind. Start to breathe a little deeper, finding an extra sip of air at the bottom, fuller belly, and slower exhale with a slight constriction in the back of the throat, creating an audible exhalation, Ujjayi Pranayama. And I'll try not to Ujjayi Pranayama too much into your guys' ears, but I'll breathe along with you as best I can. I am free. I release my attachments and liberate my spirit. We have a choice to make. We can hold on and not change when we're forced to change. And in that we can suffer. Or we can let go and find a new freedom and change through all of these situations. It's right now in our world and just in life in general. When things change, it can be hard if we attach. If we let go, we can easily flow. So today, let's let go and flow. I am free. Take an inhale, reach those arms up. Hands come down to your heart. Start with an Om right here. First, a single breath in and out. Exhale out. Join if you'd like, or just listen along. Inhale. Oh. All right, let's make our way to our hands and knees. Hands forward, shift forward to hands and knees. A little morning stretch for us, cat and cow. Arching the back, inhale, look up. Rounding the back, exhale, look down. And do that back and forth. Just a few times. Good, and one more time. One more inhale, exhale, simple cat and cow. And pause for a moment here. You can come to neutral, so strong through the belly, the shoulders. And whatever your body is feeling, you might want a wrist stretch or to roll through the neck or shoulders. Wrist stretch, you can take the hands upside down, give the forearms a stretch, press through the palms, If I was teaching an actual class in person, this is where I would go to Anna and ask about her wrist, but I cannot. So give me a thumbs up if it's doing okay, or a medium if it's not. Okay, kind of. I'll check in with you again later. Right, any kind of simple movement. Then walk the hands forward. Let the heart melt down, chin down for melting heart pose or puppy pose. Hips are up high. Elbows are towards the mat. Pinkies on the mat, thumbs up. I am open. My heart and my mind have no boundaries. We have so many opportunities right now. We just have to be open to receiving them. So let go of attachments to release, open to receive. Okay, shift forward again. Walk your hands just slightly back, not all the way, still in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, press into the hands, lift the knees, send your hips back to downward facing dog. Hips up, back, pedal the feet a couple times, and we'll get going with our sun salutations in about 30 seconds. Walk the feet forward to the top of the mat. Hanging out, little ragdoll pose. So you can grab the elbows, shake out the head. Early morning forward fold. You're gonna feel those hamstrings a little tight. They'll loosen up in throughout this practice for sure. Bend the knees, release the hands, and roll yourself up to a standing pose. You can take your feet hip distance apart, or I prefer big toes touching feet together as we work through some sun salutations. Palms forward, shoulders back, chest lifted, nice and tall. Inhale, reach those arms up, engaging the body as you reach, connect the hands and look up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, open the arms, diving down, lead with the heart, forward fold. Not your deepest forward fold yet, we'll get there. Inhale, half lift, hands on the shins or the floor, gazing in front of your mat. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. I like to step the first one because it's still early. First one, step back to plank pose. Shifting forward on the toes, then as you exhale, bend the elbows into Chaturanga. 90 degrees or less, knees up or down, that's up to you. Find your breath and follow it, use it as your guide. Up dog, slide the heart forward, shoulders press back. Collarbones broaden, gaze forward. Exhale, look down, press into the hands. Lift the chest and the belly, use your core strength to lift up to down dog. Hips to the sky again. And this first one, I always talk a little bit more than the next few. So let's take 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3. Heels slightly turned out, elbows in. 4. And 5. Step your feet forward on the end of that exhale. Half lift. Forward fold. Rising up tall. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, either hands to your heart or by your side. Samasthiti, standing at attention. Inhale, reach up, rise. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step or hop back. Lower to Chaturanga, shifting the shoulders forward, elbows stay above the wrists. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lifting into a back bend, core strength active. Exhale, downward facing dog. And 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Jump or step forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up, inhale, out and up. Hands by your side or to your heart, standing tall. One more, sun A, reach up, inhale. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Chandrasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Step or jump back, lower full, exhale. Up dog, inhale, sliding heart forward. Exhale, downward dog. Hips to the sky, heels pressed down. Chest pressing towards your legs. Tuck the chin and look back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, step or hop forward. Half lift, forward fold. Rising tall mountain pose, reach up. Hands by your side. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Circle those arms up, rise, reach up, connect the hands. Exhale, forward fold. To do our first sun salutation B, just a little slower. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Hold here. Inhale, shift forward. That's extra breath in plank. Exhale, bend the elbows. Find some strength here. Look forward beyond the mat. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. The right leg's gonna step forward first, so take a breath as you press the heels down or lift that right leg a couple inches or a couple feet off the mat, not too high. Exhale, bend that right knee, step between the hands, shifting forward, lifting up in the body, gentle step between the hands. Back heel spins to the floor for warrior 1. Rise up, open up, reach up, connect the hands at the top. Look to the thumbs. Exhale, back down to the floor. Press into the hands, lift the back heel. Right foot steps back, plank. Inhale, hold here, shifting on the tippy toes. Exhale, hug the elbows to rib cage, lower down. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. And take an inhale as you press the heels or lift that left leg. We're gonna skip that lift the next time. Exhale, step between the hands, lift high up onto the right tippy toes. Step gently. Back heel spins down, rising up, warrior 1. Back down, exhale, hands find the floor, framing the left foot. Step back to plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heart, up dog. Exhale, hips up and back to the sky. We go, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Step or hop forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Standing tall, inhale, reach out and lift up. Exhale, release. Oh, shoot. Bend the knees, chair pose. Let's just go right to chair pose. Inhale. Do that again, reach up. Back down, exhale, forward fold. No big deal there. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step or jump back. We're going through a little faster. Chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Step the right foot forward right away for warrior 1. Rise up, reach those hands up, spin the back heel down. Connect the hands and look up. Exhale, back to the floor. Elbows bend as you step back. Inhale, lifting through to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the left foot forward. Back heel spins down, reach up, warrior 1. Hands to the floor, step back to plank pose and lower to chaturanga. Keep exhaling. Up dog, inhale. And hips to the sky, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. This is our last sun salutation before moving on. 1, 2. Feel your hip bones lift up and in, belly in. 3, 4, and 5. Step or hop forward. Half lift, forward fold, chair pose, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Inhale, reach up, connect the hands, and let it go. And we're gonna jump our feet hip distance apart. I'm gonna face you, just no, facing the same way. Face the same way, lift up, lift the heart, draw the shoulders and elbows back. Exhale, use your peace sign fingers to grab your big toes. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows and pull yourself down and through. Padangusthasana. Press through the outer edges of the feet like you're trying to split them apart. Relax your head, pull down. Release the toes by lifting halfway. Inhale. Slide the hands underneath the feet so you're stepping on your hands. Padahastasana, hand and foot pose. Bend the elbows and pull down, releasing any wrist tightness, tension. Try to straighten those legs a little more. You can release the hands into your feet. Lift up halfway, inhale. Hands on your hips, exhale, a little bend in the knees. Inhale, rise up and jump your feet together. I'm gonna stand over here this time. As you take your right foot, step back. Turn to the back of your mat, right toes facing the back, left heel farthest point from the body. Reach the arms open and lengthen to the right leg. Right hand comes down, the ankle, foot, or floor, or you're hooking onto the big toe, keeping a nice extension through your waist. Look up towards left hand. Hands, fingertips glued together. Triangle pose. And then we try something here because we can, and we're freeing ourselves. We're feeling open. Why not? Exploring, trying something new. Look down, bend the front knee, bend that right knee. Reach forward with that right hand, let go. Lift up that back leg. Half moon for just a couple breaths. Look down towards the right thumb. Open through the body, left hip stacked on top of right. Then early on half moon. And step back to your triangle pose. Lift your entire body. Lift, pivot to the other side. Reach along with the left hand, right hips bump back. Right arm reaches up. You should feel a little pull on that, the waist of the right side, the obliques, the hip. We're learning a lot about the hip lately in training, so thinking about those muscles that are activating and working here. Also, what's stretching? Left hamstring, right outer thigh. How about that half moon? You can try Ardha Chandrasana. Bend the front knee, look forward, release your toe if you have it. Reach the left hand forward without touching the ground and lift that back leg. Your fingertip might touch the ground, but we're not putting weight into it. Flex through the right foot, stays at hip height. Straighten that left leg a little more. Whoop. And step back. Turn to the right side again, or facing your right foot. Step the back foot in just a little bit. Square the hips up towards the back of the mat. Reach the left hand forward, heading into a twist. Left hand comes down anywhere on the inside or the outside of the foot, maybe on a block. Right arm reaches up, twist. And if you're out there thinking, I need a little more space for this, then feel free to take that hand a little wider or away from that foot. Reach up with the right hand and draw the shoulders down the back of the body. Then lift back up, inhale. Circle around, nice windmill water wheel, and switch sides. Step the right foot out to the side, widen the stance to get the hips facing left side, left leg. Reach along with the right hand and place it down. As soon as the hand is placed down, then we start to twist through the waist, the torso, the chest, the neck, and possibly reaching up. Okay, rising back up, bending into that left knee. Lift up, open, step to the top of the mat. Take a breath in and out. Right foot steps back again. Turn to the back of your maybe wider stance so you can bend that right knee. Warrior stance. Reach long. Elbow starts on your thigh. Left arm reaches up high. We're heading towards side angle. We'll do a different variation. So pressing those hips towards the left side of your mat. Lengthen through the arm. Let's take that left hand behind us. Find the top of the right thigh. You might sneak that right hand on the inside of the leg, or you keep the elbow to the thigh. Depends how your hips are feeling, body's feeling today. There's also the option of right hand underneath and binding behind, under that right leg, behind your back. This is my not so friendly side, so that bind is a little intense this morning. But I'm staying open into whatever comes up, and that might be the bind, or that might be hanging out here, elbow on the thigh. All right, lifting back up, release that bind. Lift and inhale, straighten the front leg, pivot to the other side. Bend the left knee, hips level, and then we reach forward. Left elbow to your thigh, right arm reaching up, extend it into this nice straight line, palm facing the ground, internal rotation. Great place to stay. For a little shoulder support, try that right hand behind the back, find the top of the left thigh. And then, however deep you want to get in this bind into your bound side angle pose. So I'm going to use bound side angle, reaching, or elbow to knee. All right, open those arms up again. Ooh, lift up, straighten the front leg, pivot to the back of the mat again. Right knee bends, left knee comes down to the ground. You got a twist coming up here. So left elbow hooks over the right leg. You can connect the palms in a prayer position. We start to get a little deeper, sliding the tricep or closer to the armpit on the leg. And we decide where we want to go from here. Open arms, or the back knee could lift. You can extend that right arm. Stay in a place where you're still able to breathe deeply. And if you're watching me, you're going to see me fall over a few times. Even if I'm not talking through this, it's what I do in my regular practice. It helps me find my edge. Whoa. Stay there. All right, releasing this twist, we lift back up, rise up, switch sides, and you can I use my hand on my right thigh to help me up. Take the back knee down. Right elbow hooks over, take an exhale to get into that twist. Palms in prayer. And what you did on the other side, try it on this side. Good, rising back up. You can use your hands to help you. Lift up, inhale. Step to the top of the mat, the front of the mat again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, letting go. Step your feet wide once more. Toes parallel, or feet parallel to each other. Reach your arms up, out. Exhale, hands on your hips, on your waist. Inhale, look up, open, heart opener. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to the floor. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, take the hands in line with the middle of the feet, the arches, as you fold down. Bend elbows like chaturanga hands, chaturanga arms. Right, lift up halfway, take an inhale. Exhale, pause. Try this. Take the left hand underneath the nose. Reach up in that right arm. Keep equal weight in both feet. We like to shift or to have a tendency to shift here. Let's keep equal weight, lengthened, reach up, straight up. Right hand stacked over left. And then switch. Right hand replaces left hand. Lengthen through the upper body. Lift that left arm up towards the sky. Right, left hand comes down. And this next pose is completely optional. You can stay in a forward fold, however suits you. Or let's walk the hands forward. We're heading to Mandukasana. It's frog pose. So a little bit intense, and be careful on the knees. So walk the hands forward like a wide stance down dog. Knees come down like a wide child's pose. Toes out like you're making a W. Sit your hips back, and you might want a blanket or towel underneath the knees. As you start to spread the legs wide, come down onto the forearms. If you're on carpet, there might be enough cushion for you. Just be mindful of the knees. So you're getting into those inner thighs. If you're not quite feeling it, or you're feeling shifted forward a little bit, then shift your hips back more. Ankles in line with the knees. You might just do regular old child's pose too. This one's like kind of like pigeon pose, where it's love-hate kind of intense. All right, from here, if you're in frog pose, the way to get out is to shift forward and almost do like a belly flop. Hands down underneath your shoulders, lift up, tuck the toes under, back for a wide stance forward fold. Wide forward fold. Lengthen, lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, rise, lift up. Exhale, hold. We're gonna do one more here. Inhale, reach long. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the palms together, squeeze the shoulders, look up, forward fold. One more to get into those legs, strengthen the hip flexors and the quads, and opening that heart and chest. All right, rise up, take an inhale. Release the hands and step to the top of the mat. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward folds. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank pose. Lower to chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. So stay in down dog for the time being. Take both feet, big toes come to touch together. Lift your right leg, bend the knee, flex that right foot, and then externally rotate that right leg. So the knee is heading towards the ceiling, the sky, the heel of the foot towards the left shoulder,
And the shoulders are level, equal weight in the hands. Okay, lengthen that leg so that the toes face the ground, and you internally rotate the right leg. Bend the knee, look forward, lift on the left heel, lift tippy toes, and step between the hands, shifting forward, gentle step down, low lunge. Back knee comes down, flatten that foot and lengthen that back leg, low lunge, fingertips on the ground, kneeling. Walk your hands up to your right thigh, onto your knee, your thigh. As you press hips downward, lengthen through that back leg, feeling that hip flexor, the psoas. Then you can stay with the hands on your leg, your thigh, or we reach up. Connect the hands together and press the thumbs back as you look up. Good. Bringing your hands forward, exhale, straighten the front leg. You've got half splits or a deeper split. So you can take half splits, that's cool. Stay here, pull the toes back. Or extending through that right leg, let's lengthen into a deeper splits variation. Use your hands or blocks or anything else, maybe some toys or something for some support under the hands or under that front leg, that hamstring. All right, rebend or slide that right foot back, rebend the knee, hands plant down, step your right foot back to plank pose, Chaturanga, exhale, inhale up dog, exhale downward facing dog. Notice the difference between the right and the left side at this point. And take the big toes, they touch again, lift the left leg up behind you, bend your knee, flex that left foot, then rotate the left hip, left leg open. Use the activation of the glutes on the left side to lift the knee, relax the neck, press firmly through the hands. Right, lengthen through that left leg. Again, toes point down, internal rotation. Lift high up on the right tippy toes, the ball of the foot. Bend the left knee, shift your body weight forward. Step between the hands with that left foot. Back knee comes down for your low lunge, low crescent lunge. Flatten the top of the right foot to the ground. Fingertips light. Of course, use any kind of cushion under that right knee as needed. And then taking those hands, let's walk them up to the thigh, sit a little bit more upright. Try to get those hips to press forward, pulling the lower belly abs in, feeling that squeeze from front heel to back knee. And then the option from here to reach up, we can connect the hands, lengthen, find a little bit more back bend, more openness. Make sure you're maintaining that nice breath. If it gets lost or choppy, back off and find somewhere that works a little bit better. Good, and then send the hands forward, straighten the front leg. Half splits, Hanumanasana or Ardha Hanumanasana for half splits, or Hanumanasana, monkey pose, it's actually called.
So extending maybe a little bit longer or staying where you're at. Okay, rebend the left knee. Somehow get your knees a little closer so it'll be easier to step back. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, step the left foot back to plank pose. Keep exhaling to Chaturanga. Up dog, downward facing dog. Let's do, it's a different kind of pose. So let's shift forward. It's actually kind of nice. Lower down to Chaturanga, actually to your belly. Take the feet a little wider so the toes are off of the mat. Use your hands on the ground to press up, peel yourself up. And so your hips can stay down, or if you walk the hands underneath the shoulders, you can do a wide leg up dog. Wide leg up dog, where you're able to shift from side to side. Turn from right to left. I like my knees and thighs on the ground though, so that actually feels pretty good. Sort of move around a little. Sometimes this is called seal pose. You can make sound effects too, unless no one will hear you over here, unless you're not on mute. Good, and keeping those knees wide, bend the knees, lift the hips, tuck the toes, take the toes together, and sit back in child's pose. We've got a nice little back bending series coming up, starting with prone positions. So if prone positions, laying or resting on your belly does not feel awesome for you, we can do the same thing on hands and knees. So either cat and cows or spinal extensions where you're extending one arm and one leg, lifting, pausing, that kind of thing. I'll show you some options. All right, shift forward. I just want to show a couple options because I know that some of us on the video, I know who's here. So when we get to our prone positions, if that's not happening for you today, there's cat and cow, or even just holding and reaching, extending and pausing, hold, maybe a little lift. So those work as well, the extensions and the lifts. For most of us, let's come forward to our hands and knees, plank pose, and lower down to your belly. Take the feet together and reach the hands back. Palms are upward facing the sky. Tops of the hands touch the floor. Lift the chest, pull the shoulders back, and then lift the legs, squeezing them together. Pressing the tops of the hands on the ground. Lengthen through the crown of the head and gaze forward. In between each of these, we will do our sort of like a half vinyasa, up dog to down dog, and back down to our belly again. We lower down, hands under the shoulders, slide yourself forward, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Good, shift forward to plank pose. Bend the elbows, lower to your belly. Lift up onto your forearms. We'll do half Bekasana, also called frog pose. Half Bekasana first, bend the right knee. Reach back, find the foot, and push it downward to the outside edge of your thigh, knee pointed back. And so you might be here pulling back if you've got a little bit more tightness in the quads. You might be a little bit more upright or the leg is higher. As we get a little more comfortable or stretchy through the quads and hip flexors, we're going to press down, even turning the hands so that the fingertips wrap around the toes. Okay, switch legs right away. Left knee bent, press down. Keep pressing the hip bones as well down into the floor. What we're looking for is sensation, not the way that this looks at all. So releasing that, we're going to do both legs this time. So 1 foot, 2 foot, your upper body is going to shift forward, press down. This is not necessarily an easy pose to get into on your own. Do your best. This is very similar to, I'll show you this here, hero pose. So it's basically like you're flipping yourself onto your belly in a hero pose instead of on your back. So those who are missing out on prone positions, you can come to hero pose instead. All right, release the legs, both of them. Slide to up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. All right, one more. We're heading to bow pose on our bellies. Shift forward, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Bend both knees. Reach back and find the ankles. Big toes can touch. Heels slightly apart. Press into the hands and lift. Bow pose. I am open. I am free. Back bends can sometimes, and heart openers, same thing, elicit some feelings of vulnerability. And I think that a lot of us need a little bit of that lately. So be open, share where you need help, offer help where you can. One more deep breath in and let it go. Exhale. Take a pause on your belly, chin. Okay, hands underneath the shoulders. Slide yourself up, up dog or cobra pose, downward facing dog. We're going to continue our heart opening practice. Take the knees down. Sit back on the heels and lift the upper body. Right, we have some camel poses and a seated twist coming up. So we'll do 3 versions or a few versions of camel pose. We'll do at least 3. See where we go from there. So lift up onto the knees. And keep the hips forward, so they're above the knees. We're not shifting back, not in this first one. So keep them forward. And then creating this C-leg shape through your back, not just through this little mid or the lower back portion, which does not feel good. So pull the belly in, creating this shape of a C through the entire spine. Hands can stay on the hips, rolling back, look up. That might be where you stay today. If you're able to look back and see the room behind you at the back of the room, you can maybe take the hands to the heels or even to blocks. If you've got the hands on the heels, it does help to squeeze the shoulders a bit more close. And then walk the hands back up to, or lift the hands back up to the lower back as you roll up from bottom to top. Sit down. Take a couple deep breaths. This one I just like to sit through instead of transitioning into anything different, at least for today. No handstands, no vinyasa in between. Lifting back up. Find a little bit more openness. Heart and mind having no boundaries. So we can do this, you can do this. So similar pose, or we can add on. So similar pose, hands on the waist, the hips to start with. Roll the shoulders together. Look up. Maybe hands to your heels. Now this next version is a little more intense, so just be very mindful of where you are. You'd walk your hands up to your calves, and your hips will come back as you send your head down towards the floor. I think today I won't touch the floor, but you can touch the floor if you want to, or if your body allows. A little bit farther back, this openness that you're creating, this freedom. And lifting back up, hands on your lower waist. Roll it up, gaze is the last, head is the last thing that comes up, and sit back. All right, last one. We're going to lift back up. Feeling it in the quads. Good, this is good. Hands on your hips, roll back again. Let's take it to our version of camel pose, either hands on waist, hands on heels. Instead of hands on the calves, maybe we use a wall for this one. Hands by your heart, reach back. Lift back up. So if you've got a wall and you want to try those little reach backs, find the wall, press back up a few times. I'm not going to demo it today, but we can reach all the way back, find the toes or find the floor. I don't feel like my body is particularly ready for that today, but if yours is, reach back, find the floor with your hands, and maybe even grab the toes with your hands or the elbows to the floor. Kapotasana, king pigeon pose. Okay, rising back up from where you are, hands on your hips, lift up and sit down. Whew. All right, sit down and through, take the legs forward. Legs forward. And before we get into a forward fold, I know our backs are feeling something for sure. So listen along, because I don't know if you're seeing me mirroring me. So I'm gonna do what I'm saying. Do what you can. So you're gonna take our right leg back into a hero pose or hurdler's pose. Sit down towards the right heel. Left ankle, left foot either goes on the knee. And if this pose, this half hero pose, or this little hurdler's pose thing isn't for you today, just keep the legs straight. So you take that left foot either to the inner thigh or lift it up into the crease into half lotus. Okay, so you've got the half lotus, and then that half, whatever it's called, foot behind you. So you're feeling the quad. Lift. You take your left hand, reach around the back. You might find your right arm or your big toe. If you're in half lotus, you'll find your big toe. The right hand then goes to the outside of the left knee, and twist. If this is still comfortable here, you're holding onto the knee with your palm down. Turn your palm the other way, so palm outward. Place the hand on the floor so that your knee fits in between the crease of the back of the wrist. Look over your left shoulder. Hopefully that was understandable. I do not know what this pose name is in Sanskrit. It's a seated twist. If we're going general, seated twist with a bind if you've got the big toe. And release that. Nice. Just switch sides. We're going to extend the other leg, extend the legs. Left leg goes back into that half hero pose. Right foot either to the inner thigh or up in the crease of the leg. Again, if you want to choose a different kind of seated twist, it's always available. You at home. Lots of pieces to this one. Right hand then goes around. You might find the big toe or the left arm, or just behind the back. Left hand finds the top of the knee. Twist here. Look back over right shoulder. Or flip that left palm so the palm is facing outward. Slide the back of the wrist in the crease into the knee as the palm is on the ground. Yeah. Look back over right shoulder, sit tall. Get to release that, release the twist. Going to one last time, swing the legs around, jump back, step back, Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Jump through, sit down, or sit through, however, or step, kneel, Swing the legs around. Lean back, lift the legs, boat pose. Reach forward, lift up. We're not going to do 5 today. We're just going to do 1. Just 1 good solid boat pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the legs down, straight leg. Staff pose, toes lifted, reach up. Hinge forward. Maybe find the toes. Maybe the sides of the legs lengthen forward. Okay, lifting back up, let's make our way down to the floor. So you might keep your legs straight, toes at the top of the mat. Reach forward, hug the belly, chest in as you start to roll down. So we don't have tons and tons of time to do all the finishing postures, and we've kind of varied quite a bit in this practice. So we'll just end, not right now, but we'll finish with a few postures and then Shavasana. So we still have a couple more lying on the ground in supine. So let's bend the knees, bridge pose. Now they're all open and stuff. Let's continue that opening process. Palms down, lift the hips, squeeze the shoulders together. And we'll do one more back bend option too. So even from here, if you're feeling you want to add a little more and head towards a wheel pose or Ardha Chandrasana, upward facing bow, many names for the same thing. We would release this, hands under your shoulders, elbows to the sky, press into the hands and feet, maybe find the top of the head first, adjust, and then lengthen arms and legs. Wherever you are, come out of it, take a mini break, and we'll do one more, either bridge or wheel pose. And again, bridge or wheel pose. Take your pick, lengthen, lift, press your heart towards the back of the room like someone's pulling a string towards where your gaze is, if you're in wheel pose. And lower back down. Oh. Whew. Hug the knees in, rock from side to side, and take the legs straight up. You can choose to do legs up the wall, an actual wall or invisible wall, or heading up to shoulder stand if that's in your practice and your neck is okay with it. Press into the elbows, lift the hips above the shoulders, hands to low back, lengthen the legs. Legs, body, hips stacked above shoulders, toes above hips. And then take those feet way behind you if you're in shoulder stand for plow pose, halasana. And interlace the fingers if the toes touch on the ground. Keep the feet flat, straight legs, press into the backs of the knees. And bend your knees around your ears if you're in plow pose. Releasing those hands maybe on your waist or on the ground, roll down.
And as you come down, let's take the feet down, keeping the knees bent, toes on the floor. Take the right leg up and wrap it above the left, just crossing the legs. Use your left hand to guide the legs to the side. You might pick up onto that left hip a little bit. We're going to twist with our legs crossed up, extend the right arm beyond the right side of the mat, and keep the right shoulder down and heavy. Lifting back up, unwind and rewind. Switch sides. Right foot down, left foot over the top of the right, left knee over the top of the right. Right hand helps your legs to the side. Lift up onto your right hip, keeping that spine in a nice straight line down the center of the mat. And bring your legs back up to the top. Unravel the legs. Hug the knees in. And take any kind of gentle movement or happy baby pose. It's going to feel good for your lower back. And next up is Shavasana, and I hope you stay for the entire duration of a whole entire 5 minutes. It's not that long, but it's one of the best things that we can do for ourselves, is to give us that time of silence and peace and still remaining open. So when you are ready, find a place that feels comfortable for you. Extended legs, let the feet fall open, palms face up. Again, a symbol for openness. I am free, I am open. Relax those shoulders, close your eyes, and release any effort. Let go. If it helps you to think of that mantra, that simple, very easy phrase of let go, on the inhale, repeat the word let. On the exhale, repeat the word go. And it's something to hold on to and something to remember, a good reminder. All right, start to take a deep breath in and wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reach your hands overhead. Bend your knees and roll to your side. And then take a gentle press back up, lift back up to a seated pose. A comfortable seated position. Inhale, reach those arms out and up, a big circle, connecting our practice and sealing it with us for our day. Bring the hands down to your heart. Let's do another Om. First, a deep breath in and out. And the next inhale, we go for Om. Inhale. Om. May all of you feel a little more open and free after this, and go and live your best life. Thank you for joining in our yoga practice. Namaste.